Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly an honor to be here with you today as we embark on a meaningful journey together, a journey of self-discovery and the development of positive habits. This path not only helps us surpass our own limitations, but it also leads us to success beyond our expectations. I want you to imagine the life you've always wanted, the goals you've dreamed of achieving. What is holding us back from reaching them? The answer is simple: our habits. Our daily habits, though small, are the keys that unlock the door to success. Rather than letting life drift by, we can take control of it by changing the way we think and act each day. Today, I want to assure you that each and every one of us has the power to change our own destiny. It all starts with small steps, changing the way we think, changing the way we act. It is through these small daily actions that we achieve big changes, leading to a more fulfilled, freer, and more successful life. The journey of personal development is a long one, but it is incredibly rewarding. And today, I will guide you through the power of positive habits and the acceptance of responsibility, two essential elements that will help us become the best version of ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, before we embark on this journey of exploring the power of habits, I'd like to ask you a question. How many of us here feel that we are in complete control of our lives? It's a tough question to answer immediately, isn't it? Because many of us feel trapped in the whirlwind of life, driven by external factors, and at times we feel like we've lost control. But here's the remarkable thing. We can absolutely take control of our lives, and the key lies in accepting responsibility. The more responsibility we embrace, the more control we gain over every aspect of our lives, be it finances, career, or personal emotions. Now let's delve into the relationship between responsibility, control, and freedom. The power of habit stems from our ability to take control of life. Responsibility is the very first and most crucial step in creating that control. When we take responsibility for our actions, we gain the power to change, improve, and adjust aspects of our lives. This not only brings physical freedom, but also creates mental freedom. You'll no longer feel dependent on others or on circumstances. At that point, you'll truly feel like the master of your life. Successful people, regardless of their field, are those who take responsibility for every action and result in their lives. They understand that accepting responsibility is the fastest route to control and from there to freedom. On the contrary, those who refuse responsibility often feel lost, letting circumstances dictate their lives, leading to negative emotions such as frustration, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. We all have a choice, the choice between responsibility and irresponsibility. Successful individuals are always those who choose the path of responsibility. They don't blame others when things don't go as planned. Instead, they find ways to improve themselves and take charge of the situation. In contrast, those who avoid responsibility feel out of control. They blame circumstances, society, and factors they believe are beyond their control. As a result, they are swept away by a spiral of negative emotions, allowing their own negative thoughts to destroy their chances of success and self-confidence. What I want to emphasize here is this: we always have the power to choose. Choose to take responsibility, choose to take control of your life, and step by step, build a better future for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest obstacles preventing us from achieving success is negative emotions. These emotions not only affect our mental state, but also have a direct impact on our actions and decisions. When we are filled with emotions such as anger, anxiety, jealousy, or resentment, it becomes incredibly difficult to focus on our goals and make sound decisions. Now let's talk about the importance of eliminating negative emotions. Negative emotions don't just harm our mental health, they also hinder our personal growth. When we are trapped in a storm of negative emotions, our minds become clouded, unable to find effective solutions. These emotions are like powerful storms, sweeping away our clarity and ability to analyze situations. However, when we remove these negative emotions, our minds naturally fill with positive feelings like joy, love, and happiness. These positive emotions not only improve mental health, but also create a powerful drive to move forward. It's only when our minds are free from negativity that we can achieve the freedom and creativity necessary to pursue our grandest goals. Now, to help you better understand the impact of negative emotions, I'd like to introduce you to what I call the tree of negative emotions. This tree has branches, each representing common negative emotions, such as anger, one of the most powerful negative emotions clouding our judgment. Anxiety, when we are anxious, Our minds are dominated by worst-case scenarios, making it impossible to focus on the present. Jealousy, envying others' success, only makes us dissatisfied with ourselves and diminishes our confidence. Resentment, holding on to resentment keeps us trapped in the past, preventing us from improving the present. Self-doubt. One of the most dangerous negative emotions is doubting ourselves, which stops us from taking action and causes us to miss opportunities. But why do these negative emotions persist in our lives? There are two main factors that I believe continuously fuel and sustain them. First is justification. We often justify our negative emotions. When someone hurts or betrays us, we feel entitled to our anger or resentment. We seek reasons to validate these emotions, as if holding on to them will protect us from future harm. But my friends, justifying negative emotions only prolongs the pain. It doesn't make you stronger. It only keeps you trapped in a cycle of negativity. When we stop justifying our emotions, we'll notice that they begin to weaken and eventually fade away. The second factor is identification. We tend to personalize external events, seeing them as reflections of ourselves. For example, when someone criticizes or disagrees with us, instead of recognizing that it's merely their opinion, we internalize the emotion and believe it's an attack on our character. This leads to us feeling hurt and clinging to negative emotions. The truth is, many negative situations aren't as personal as we think. If we learn to detach ourselves from things that aren't directly related to us, we'll realize that negative emotions are temporary and not a fixed part of our lives. So, how do we eliminate these negative emotions? I'd like to share two simple but powerful steps that you can apply starting today. Step 1, stop justifying. When you notice yourself feeling angry, resentful, or dissatisfied, ask yourself, is this emotion really helping me? If the answer is no, stop looking for reasons to justify it. Instead, focus on finding a more positive way to resolve the issue. Step 2, stop identifying with negative emotions. Don't let yourself be swept up by events and feelings that aren't truly yours. Look at everything from a more objective standpoint. This will not only help you break free from negative emotions, but also help you stay calm in every situation. When we stop justifying and identifying with negativity, we'll find that life becomes lighter, positive emotions take their place, and we can focus on the things that truly matter. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to dive deeper into two essential mental habits that play a crucial role in helping us eliminate negative emotions and achieve inner peace. Non-judgment and emotional detachment. In a world filled with pressure, stress, and conflict, practicing non-judgment not only helps us remove negativity, but also creates space for positive emotions to grow, allowing us to stay clear-headed in all situations. First, let's discuss non-judgment as a tool for maintaining calm. It's common in our daily lives to judge others or circumstances. We often tend to quickly evaluate others' behavior based on our personal perspectives, sometimes without even thinking deeply about what has happened. However, judging others not only brings no benefit, it also breeds negative emotions and mental tension. Imagine a situation where a colleague makes a mistake at work. It's easy to feel angry, frustrated, and immediately think that they are incompetent, disrespectful, or unable to work as a team. But if we pause and reflect, we might realize that everyone has unseen challenges. They might be dealing with personal issues or facing pressure we're unaware of. Judging others in this way only makes us lose our calm and creates unnecessary negativity. On the other hand, if we practice understanding and empathy, we can remain calm, avoid being swept into negative emotions, and contribute to a healthier, more harmonious work or living environment. Non-judgment is also a way to protect our minds from negativity. As the Bible says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." This reminds us that when we judge others, we too are vulnerable to being judged. Non-judgment doesn't mean accepting inappropriate behavior, but choosing to respond with compassion and understanding. This helps keep our minds calm and stable, especially in stressful situations. Now let's move on to emotional detachment and not becoming overly attached to outcomes. This is another powerful habit that helps us maintain calm. Often in both life and work, we tend to attach ourselves too much to outcomes. When things don't go as planned, we can quickly fall into disappointment, anger, or even self-blame. Take an example from work. When we invest too much expectation into a project or a specific result, and the outcome doesn't meet our hopes, we may feel deeply hurt. We begin to blame ourselves or others, leading to unnecessary negative emotions. However, if we learn to detach our emotions from the result, we'll realize that success or failure is just part of the process, and it does not define our worth. Emotional detachment also helps reduce our excessive attachment to external factors like money, work, or relationships. This doesn't mean we don't care. It means we don't allow external factors to dictate our emotions and mental state. By not attaching ourselves too much to outcomes, we reduce disappointment and maintain calmness and clarity when facing challenges. This leads me to the point that detaching ourselves from negative elements and maintaining calm is a powerful way to enhance performance. We cannot always control what happens around us. Life is full of unforeseen factors, failures at work, misunderstandings in relationships, or unexpected events that leave us feeling out of control. However, what we can always control is our emotions and how we react to them. When we detach ourselves from negative emotions and external factors, our minds remain undisturbed, allowing us to focus on problem solving more effectively. This also helps us view situations from a broader and more objective perspective. And remember, calmness is not passivity. Calmness is about maintaining balance in the mind, regardless of what happens externally. It is this state of mind that helps us make better decisions and avoid mistakes caused by emotional reactions. One of the greatest benefits of practicing non-judgment and emotional detachment is the inner peace it brings. When we are not controlled by immediate emotions, we can experience peace from within. This peace forms the foundation for clear thinking, focusing on long-term goals, and not getting distracted by minor situations. Moreover, practicing non-judgment not only benefits us, but also improves our relationships with those around us. When we don't judge, we become more understanding and empathetic toward others, creating a more positive environment in which to live and work. This practice not only helps us stay calm, but also strengthens harmony and connection between people. To maintain calm and stability, it's crucial to focus on inner growth rather than external results. When we direct our attention toward developing our minds, improving our thinking, and taking care of our mental health, we won't be swayed by the ups and downs of life. Focusing on inner growth helps us strengthen self-control, ensuring we aren't easily influenced by external changes. This is how we gain stronger control over our lives, remaining calm and composed while maintaining high performance even when circumstances change. In conclusion, learning to control our emotions and not allowing them to control us is the key to calmness and stability. Practicing non-judgment and emotional detachment not only helps us navigate life's challenges, but also fosters creativity and personal growth. It takes time and patience, but once we master these habits, life becomes lighter, relationships improve, and most importantly, we remain calm, empowered to tackle any challenge that comes our way. Ladies and gentlemen, in life, one of the most common reactions we encounter is blaming others or circumstances when things don't go as we expect. It's a natural instinct. We all want to believe that if it weren't for someone else or something outside of our control, things would have turned out better. Blaming offers a temporary sense of relief, as if for a moment we're freed from responsibility. But let me tell you, blame is not the solution. It never has been, and it never will be. In fact, blame prolongs negative emotions and slows down our personal growth. Let's face the truth. At the very root of negative emotions lies blame. Whether we're blaming someone else, the situation, or even ourselves, the outcome is the same. When we refuse to take responsibility, we automatically search for something or someone to justify our disappointment, anger, or sadness. But ask yourself, does blaming really help? Does it change anything? No. Blame doesn't resolve the issue. It only magnifies the dissatisfaction and resentment we feel. Think about it. When we fail at something, at work, for example, what's our first reaction? Often, instead of owning our mistakes and finding ways to learn from them, we quickly point to external factors. If it weren't for that person, or if only the circumstances were different, I would have succeeded. But this mindset does nothing but weaken us. When we blame others or the environment, we're essentially giving away our power to control our own lives. We're saying, I have no control here, and that makes us feel even smaller. When you blame someone else, you're handing them control over your emotions, over your entire life. It makes you feel weak and keeps negative emotions, anger, frustration, disappointment, alive and well. The more we blame, the longer we sit in this storm of negativity, unable to move forward, unable to grow. But there is a way out of this cycle, and it's a powerful one. It's called taking responsibility. Whenever you face a difficult situation or encounter failure, instead of pointing fingers, try this. Tell yourself, I am responsible for everything that happens in my life. I know this sounds simple, but the results are profound. When you take responsibility, you take back control. You stop being the victim of your circumstances and become the driver of your life. And here's the most important part. You cannot blame and take responsibility at the same time. It's either one or the other. The moment you choose responsibility, negative emotions begin to dissolve. You reclaim the power to change, to improve, to take control of the outcome. Let's consider a situation where a project at work fails. Now, you could easily start blaming your colleagues or the environment. If only they had done their part, if only the circumstances were better. But instead, pause and ask yourself, what did I do, or perhaps not do, that led to this outcome? That shift in thinking is powerful. It allows you to see where you have control and, more importantly, where you can improve moving forward. When you take responsibility, you stop being weighed down by negative emotions. You begin learning from the experience and you emerge stronger. But remember this fundamental truth. You cannot blame and take responsibility at the same time. Blaming others, blaming the circumstances takes away your power. It leaves you stuck. But when you accept responsibility, you're taking back that power. You're no longer waiting for someone else to fix things. You're stepping up and deciding to make things better. Now, don't get me wrong, taking responsibility doesn't mean ignoring the mistakes of others. People make errors and situations aren't always ideal. But when you take responsibility, you're refusing to let those errors control your emotions. You're acknowledging that while you can't control everything, you can always control how you respond. And that is where real power lies. Imagine a family conflict where each person is blaming the other. What happens? That conflict will never be resolved. It just drags on, tensions rising, emotions escalating. But what if one person steps up and says, I take responsibility for my actions, for my emotions? Suddenly the tension decreases. The conflict becomes solvable. Responsibility brings calmness, clarity, and resolution. So how do we practice this in our daily lives? By embracing responsibility as a way of living. Every day, in every situation, ask yourself, what can I do to change this? Even in moments of failure or hardship, remind yourself that you have the power to influence the outcome. This mindset not only helps us eliminate negative emotions, but also fosters personal growth and leadership. Those who consistently take responsibility for their lives, especially during tough times, are the ones who learn the most, who grow the most, and who ultimately succeed. Let's take a moment to think about the benefits of ending the blame game. First and foremost, it improves relationships. When we stop blaming others, we open the door to better communication, fewer conflicts, and stronger, healthier connections with the people around us. Second, it builds confidence and freedom. When you take responsibility, you realize that you are in control. You're not trapped by circumstances, you're empowered to take action. And that sense of control brings confidence, clarity, and a sense of freedom. Third, taking responsibility shifts your focus from the problem to the solution. Two, when we stop blaming, we stop wasting time justifying our failures. Instead, we focus on how to fix the situation, how to grow from it, and that, my friends, is where real progress happens. Finally, responsibility brings calm. When you take charge of your emotions and your actions, you don't feel overwhelmed by the situation. You don't let external factors dictate your mood. You remain clear-headed, making smarter, more informed decisions. So let me leave you with this thought. Taking responsibility is the key to freeing yourself from negative emotions. When we stop blaming and start owning our actions, we reclaim control of our lives. We can take action, we can grow, and we can create the life we desire. The moment you take responsibility is the moment negative emotions lose their power. So let's stop letting circumstances control us and start taking control of our own lives, one choice, one decision at a time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have shared with you, taking responsibility not only helps eliminate negative emotions, but also lays the foundation for us to build positive habits that can lead to profound changes in our lives. The habit of accepting responsibility is truly the key that unlocks the door to freedom and control over our own destiny. From there, we can grow, improve our relationships, and achieve the success we've always desired. Now let's explore the power of the habit of taking responsibility. We all know that habits are small actions repeated every day, and over time, they create significant change in our lives. Among all the habits we can cultivate, taking responsibility is one of the most important and impactful. When you make this a habit, you will gradually realize that every decision, every action directly affects the outcomes in your life. Those who are successful have mastered the habit of taking responsibility. They don't blame others, nor do they blame circumstances. Instead, they always ask themselves, what can I do to change or improve this situation? By consistently being proactive and taking responsibility, they take control of their lives, leading to extraordinary results. And here's something important to remember. When you stop blaming others, you regain control over your life. Instead of allowing others or circumstances to dictate your future, you take charge of your actions and decisions. This gives you the freedom to make positive changes because you understand that whether the results are good or bad, they stem from the choices you've made. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in my own life is this. When you stop blaming, you feel free. Free from negative emotions, free from having to justify your failures, and free to pursue greater dreams and goals. When you no longer waste energy blaming, you find you have more time and focus to take action and achieve results. But make no mistake, building the habit of responsibility is not something that happens overnight. It's a daily practice, starting from the smallest moments in life to the big decisions. Begin by applying this mindset in every situation, from your work to your personal relationships. When faced with a challenge, instead of looking for excuses or pointing fingers, ask yourself, what can I do to change this situation? As you apply this thinking to everyday problems, you'll begin to realize that you have the power to change bigger, more significant things. Successful people practice the habit of responsibility every day, and that's exactly what helps them achieve remarkable outcomes. For instance, in the workplace, if you encounter a problem that can't be solved immediately, don't blame your colleagues or the situation. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do to contribute to solving this issue? By taking responsibility, you not only grow personally, but also strengthen relationships with your colleagues, improve teamwork, and create better results. Let me share a story that illustrates the transformative power of responsibility. There's a young woman who once lived under the heavy pressures of family and societal expectations. She believed that her life decisions had to align with the desires of others until one day she decided to take full responsibility for her own life. She made the bold decision to cancel her wedding at the last minute, choosing instead to pursue personal freedom and begin a new chapter. It was a daring and controversial choice, but for her, it was the turning point that allowed her to start living the life she truly wanted. She didn't blame anyone, her family, or her circumstances. Instead, she took responsibility for her future and pursued her passion. Her journey inspired many others because it showed that when we dare to take responsibility, we can create profound change in our lives. Now let's reflect on the benefits of adopting a mindset of responsibility. When you build this mindset, you'll notice that your life becomes lighter and more meaningful. Feelings of resentment, anger, and worry will fade away, replaced by confidence, optimism, and a sense of control over your destiny. Responsibility not only helps you build better relationships because you no longer blame others, but also encourages you to improve and nurture connections based on understanding and gratitude. This mindset doesn't just enhance personal relationships, it has a powerful impact on your career as well. Those who take responsibility for their actions are often the ones who are highly valued at work. They're not just problem solvers, but also leaders who can make sound decisions. So when you practice responsibility, you're not just becoming a better version of yourself, you're setting the stage for lasting success in your career. In conclusion, by embracing the habit of taking responsibility, you'll open the door to freedom, growth, and the ability to create the life you want. It's not always easy, but the rewards, both personal and professional, are truly life-changing. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the mindset of taking responsibility is not just an abstract theory. It's a practical approach that has transformed the lives of many. Those who dare to take responsibility for their actions and decisions not only improve their personal lives, but also achieve tremendous success in their careers. Now, I want to share with you a few real-life stories that illustrate the power of responsibility in changing lives. First, let me share a story of significant transformation in both personal and professional life. It's about a man who went through a period of great failure in his career, yet managed to turn things around by shifting his mindset. He began his career full of dreams and ambition, but after a few years, his business failed to meet its goals, and he was forced to close his company. During that time, he felt lost, blaming his colleagues, business partners, and the circumstances. He believed that he had no control over the situation and that fate simply wasn't on his side. But one day he decided to change his mindset. Instead of continuing to blame external factors, he asked himself, what did I do wrong? What can I do differently to improve this situation in the future? He made the bold decision to take full responsibility for his actions and decisions. He looked back at everything that had happened, learned from his mistakes, and started rebuilding from scratch. As a result, within a few years, he came back stronger, launching a new company, which this time exceeded all expectations. His story shows us that taking responsibility and learning from mistakes is the key to long-term personal and professional growth. Next, let's talk about another story, one about two young entrepreneurs who transformed their business by accepting responsibility for their mistakes. In the beginning, they launched their startup with passion and creativity. However, after a few years, they faced financial difficulties, missed sales targets, and risked going bankrupt. During those tough times, they started arguing and blaming each other. One believed that the other wasn't making the right decisions, while the other thought that external market conditions were the problem. Their business was suffering, and both partners felt lost and frustrated. But when they sat down together and reevaluated the situation, they realized something crucial. They both needed to take responsibility for the decisions they had made. They stopped blaming the circumstances and each other, and instead focused on what they could do to fix the situation. By shifting their mindset, they turned their business around, not only surviving the difficult times, but thriving, expanding into new markets. This story is a powerful reminder that when we take responsibility, we can change more than just business outcomes. We can also improve the relationships that matter most in our work. Now, I want to emphasize the importance of learning from mistakes and growing through challenges. Mistakes are inevitable in life. Every one of us will face failure, setbacks, and difficulties on the path to success. But the most important thing is not how many mistakes you make, it's how you respond to them. Successful people have the ability to look back, learn from their mistakes, and use those experiences to grow stronger. In both business and life, mistakes are not the end. Mistakes are opportunities for growth and improvement. The most successful entrepreneurs and leaders are those who face failure, take responsibility, and never let mistakes hold them back. Instead of seeing failure as something negative, they view it as a stepping stone to personal and professional development. Those who fear failure, who fear being criticized, and who avoid taking responsibility are the ones who often stay stuck. But remember, mistakes are not bad. They are a natural part of growth. Each mistake is a valuable lesson that can help us become better and achieve even greater success in the future. Finally, let's reflect on the benefits of taking responsibility in both life and career. Those who take responsibility for every aspect of the success have greater confidence and control. They no longer feel like victims of their circumstances. They become the architects of their destiny. When we take responsibility, we stop fearing mistakes and failures because we know that we can learn from them and keep moving forward. This reduces stress and anxiety and creates a more positive, optimistic mindset. This confidence doesn't just benefit us individually, it also positively impacts those around us. In personal relationships, for example, when you take responsibility for your emotions and actions, you create healthier, more positive connections. You are no longer controlled by negative emotions like anger, resentment, or disappointment because you understand that you can control how you respond in every situation. In your career, the responsibility mindset helps you grow rapidly. Great leaders are always those who take responsibility for the success and failures of their teams. They don't blame their subordinates or external factors when things go wrong. Instead, they take responsibility, learn, and work with their team to find solutions. This approach not only boosts work performance, but also earns respect and trust from those around you. When people see that you consistently take responsibility for your actions, they are more likely to trust and collaborate with you. In conclusion, responsibility is the key to unlocking success. Personal responsibility is one of the most important factors in achieving success and happiness in life. It helps you eliminate negative emotions and opens the door to freedom, confidence, and the ability to control your own life. When we take responsibility for every aspect of our lives, our emotions, our actions, we are no longer dependent on circumstances or others. We become the drivers of our own lives, and from there, we can make positive changes and achieve great success. Ladies and gentlemen, when we reflect on the stories of transformation through embracing responsibility, it's undeniable that the benefits of a responsibility mindset are immense, both in life and in our careers. Taking responsibility is not just the key to eliminating negative emotions, but it also helps us grow, improve our relationships, and propel our success at work. Improving relationships and career through a responsibility mindset. One of the clearest benefits of adopting this mindset is the improvement it brings to our relationships with those around us. When we take responsibility for our emotions and actions, we stop blaming others, stop holding grudges when things don't go as planned. This reduces tension in our relationships, particularly in our families and work environments. Take, for instance, a marriage. When one partner takes responsibility for their own emotions, understanding and empathy flourish. Arguments are no longer opportunities to place blame, but instead become moments to understand and listen to each other more deeply. Taking responsibility transforms the way we approach conflict, turning it into a constructive process rather than one that widens the divide. Similarly, in the workplace, a responsibility mindset makes you a trustworthy colleague or leader. Those who embrace responsibility don't avoid problems. They face them head on and seek solutions. This not only fosters a positive work environment, but also builds trust and respect from those around you. When your coworkers or supervisors see that you consistently take responsibility for your actions, they place more trust in your abilities and value your contributions. In your career, people who take ownership of their decisions are always highly regarded. They demonstrate maturity, leadership, and the ability to face challenges calmly and professionally. This mindset helps them advance quickly, as they are not afraid of failure, but instead are willing to learn from it, becoming stronger with each experience. Responsibility fosters a sense of freedom and confidence. When we accept personal responsibility, we don't just improve our relationships and careers, we also gain a sense of freedom and strengthen our confidence. This freedom isn't about escaping external constraints, but rather a mental freedom. We are no longer held back by negative emotions or blame. People who embrace responsibility know that they have the power to change their situation and control their future. When you stop blaming circumstances or others, you gain a powerful feeling that everything is within your control. This naturally boosts your confidence because you realize you can handle any situation and overcome any obstacle. Imagine facing a difficult situation at work. If you take responsibility, you no longer feel anxious or powerless. Instead, you ask yourself, what can I do to improve this situation? This shift in thinking not only helps you find solutions, but also gives you confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way. This confidence stems not just from problem-solving abilities, but from knowing that you are in control of your life. When you take responsibility for every action and decision, you no longer feel dependent on others or controlled by circumstances. This creates a strong sense of freedom, allowing you to move forward with confidence and trust in yourself. The connection between responsibility and personal growth. One of the most significant outcomes of taking responsibility is personal growth. When we take ownership of our actions, we don't just change how we approach problems. We grow into better, stronger versions of ourselves. Growth comes from the realization that we have the power to shape our lives, and by taking responsibility and learning from our mistakes, we can change the outcomes. Mature individuals understand that life is a series of decisions. Every decision we make leads to a result, and we must be accountable for those results. Maturity doesn't come with age. It comes from the ability to take responsibility and a willingness to learn from life's experiences. When you face challenges without avoiding responsibility, you develop a mature mindset, one that is ready to take on any difficulty. Think about the people you admire in life, perhaps a leader, a mentor, or a close friend. What makes them stand out? Most successful people have one thing in common. They take responsibility for their lives. They never let circumstances control them. Instead, they rise above and find solutions when faced with adversity. This courage to take responsibility is what helps them grow and achieve great things. Personal growth and development are the results of a responsibility mindset. So, ladies and gentlemen, personal growth and development are always the result of adopting a responsibility mindset. When you realize that everything in life is in your hands, you no longer feel fear or helplessness in the face of challenges. Instead, you move forward with confidence, knowing that each mistake is a valuable lesson and each decision is an opportunity to grow. Remember, taking responsibility not only helps you improve your life and career, but also transforms you into the best version of yourself. When you dare to take responsibility, you'll discover that your potential is limitless. Limits only exist when we refuse to take responsibility. But once you step up and face every challenge, you'll see that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now explored the fundamental principles of the power of taking responsibility and the importance of changing our habits to achieve success in both life and career. What we've discussed today is not just theory, but but practical steps that anyone can apply to create positive change in their own lives. Summarizing and affirming the importance of positive habits, let's reflect on what we've shared. Reflect on what taking personal responsibility is not just a skill, it's a way of life. It allows us to examine every action, every decision we make, and understand that success or failure is within our control. When we stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility, we'll realize that we have the power to change our lives, achieve great results, and turn our dreams into reality. The habit of taking responsibility is the foundation for building a happy and successful life. This habit not only allows us to take control of our lives, but also improves our relationships, enhances the quality of our work, and creates a sense of freedom and confidence. Those who take responsibility don't just steer their own lives, they inspire those around them as well. We must understand that the habit of taking responsibility is not something that can be achieved overnight. It requires patience, practice, and a strong will. But once you develop this habit, it becomes an inseparable part of you, guiding you toward lasting success. A call to action, practicing responsibility daily. Ladies and gentlemen, this speech is not just about sharing knowledge, it's a call to action. I encourage you to begin taking action today. Choose a habit that you can start changing right now. Choose the habit of taking responsibility and apply it to every situation in your life, whether at work, with family, or in personal relationships. Start by refusing to blame circumstances, stop complaining, and begin taking responsibility for your decisions and actions. When faced with challenges, remember, you have the power to change the situation. You are the one who determines the outcome. Every day, remind yourself, I am responsible. Instead of looking outward for excuses, look inward and ask, what can I do differently to create a better result? When you do this, you will not only eliminate negative emotions, but you will also feel a newfound sense of freedom, power, and self-confidence. Encouragement for your personal growth journey. Finally, I want to emphasize this. Success is not a destination, it's a journey filled with persistence, learning, and yes, sometimes failure. But the most important thing is that you are always in control of that journey. As long as you dare to take responsibility, as long as you face challenges head on, you will discover that your potential is limitless. We've talked a lot about mastering emotions, fostering a positive mindset, and controlling your life through the habit of taking responsibility. Now, all that's left is to begin taking action. Every one of you here has the power to transform your life, to achieve great goals, as long as you take responsibility for every decision and action you make. I'd like to end this speech with a message of encouragement. Each of us has the strength to shape and create the life we desire. Believe in your abilities. Hold on to your faith and perseverance. You already have all the tools you need. The only thing left to do is start taking action. I wish you all success, happiness, and the courage to keep moving forward on your journey of personal growth.